And so this year I took a weightlifting class, and I've met some pretty cool people there. Don't get me wrong. And on the first day there, I actually met up with someone who we're now good friends. And we were just talking, and I just decided to ask, like, why did you join this class? Just to start a conversation. And he said that he wants to get muscles, but doesn't want to get too big. And already in my head, I was like, "What, bro? That's not how it works. That is not how it works." And like, no disrespect, he's a good friend of mine, but he's skinny. Not crazy skinny, but he's skinny. All right, so that already tells me that he has a decently fast metabolism. So he was not gonna get too big, and I told him too. Like I told him, I was like, "Bro, that's not gonna happen. That is not how it works, you know. But hey, at least with him, like he knows, like he probably doesn't like want to get like bulky with a bulky physique, which like that's fine. And at least he's actually lifting weights. But there are actual people who literally think that lifting weights gets you this big. I'm not even joking. Like people genuinely think that. Like it is kind of scary. Like they think that if they touch a dumbbell, they're gonna get so big when that's not how it works. Like I cringe whenever someone says, "I want to lift weights, but I don't want to get too big." Oh, so cringe because that is not how it works. Okay, like this mostly comes from like girls, probably a lot of girls, which is ironic because whenever I see like fitness influencers that are girls, they're usually lean, like leaner than me, ironically, and like some skinny boys like this guy. If you know anything about him, you know he does not take the gym seriously, and he literally just got bigger because of steroids. That's for another video. But let me ask you something. With everything I said, like what if you actually like trained hard and lifted weights and had a good diet, assuming you've never like touched a dumbbell before, like what physique do you think you would get? Like, do you think you'll get this or this? 'Cause, like, I want to know, like, do you genuinely think you'll get this one? I'm just curious because reality is you are so likely to get this one over that one. Just cause, bro. Because obviously this one steroids, okay, and genetics. And speaking of genetics, there your body literally prevents you from getting too big. Okay, so like if you think that like you can lift as much weight and like your muscles will just keep expanding, like, oh no, my biceps, they're getting too big. No, that is not how it works. Okay? Your body has this cool thing, well, not cool if you want to get like as big as possible, but has this thing called myostatin. And myostatin, like all you really need to know is that it prevents you from building too much muscle. Okay, like even if you wanted to build as much like a lot of muscles and you didn't take steroids, the myostatin would make it pretty hard. Now, obviously, you can go on a bulk with like eat a lot, so you can do that. But even then, the myostatin can still have a limiting factor. Unless you like just straight up eat like 1,000 plus calories, which you would normally eat, then that's a different story. But I'll have my boy Mike Israel go ahead and explain a little bit more. For the video?
Reduces myostatin expression. Myostatin, muscle stopper, is a protein everyone makes in their skeletal muscles that reduces how much muscle growth you have. It's a cap on your growth. If you make less myostatin, it frees your muscles up to grow more. You guys ever see those pictures?
Yeah, so basically, I know he's going a little bit he's a little bit irrelevant because he's talking about like creatine, reducing myostatin, but he still talks about how like myostatin is basically a muscle blocker, and creatine can lower that. And I can make a whole video on creatine if you want me to, because it has a lot of benefits. But the point here is that your body has a thing called myostatin. So like you're not gonna get big. You're not gonna get too big. Like whatever gigantic body you could think of, you're not gonna get anywhere close to that. Heck, if anything, like when you start lifting, you'll probably like want to get to that physique. Maybe. Like I know some people want to be like have a lean and aesthetic body. But like you will want to like put on muscle, like if when you start lifting weights. And just let me adjust my camera here real quick so you can see my beautiful face up close. But yeah, the process to building muscle is super slow too. Keep that in mind. Like it takes a year to actually get like a decent physique and fully like fill out 90% of your muscular frame. That takes about like 3 years. 3 years. And even then, like you won't be like insanely huge. So like don't so like it's not like this it's not like filling a balloon where like your muscles will just get bigger and more fuller every time you go to the gym. That's not how it works, right? Like it's such a slow process. It's really slow. Like you lift weights, you go home, get your protein in, take a sleep, and then your muscle slightly gets bigger, like this amount. But because of compounding, it compounds, like how it builds up over time. Within a year, you will get a good physique. Second year, it'll be better. Third year, it'll look awesome. And then fourth and fifth year, you won't even grow that much, honestly. Now, there is an exception to this, okay? While technically, you have myostatin in that you don't get that much muscle built that quick, you can still get too big in a sense that if you just shove a bunch of food in your mouth, like you go 1,000 calories, 2,000 calories above your maintenance, then yeah, you're gonna get too big, but not more so like muscular big, more like you'll just get fat. You'll have muscle and you'll have so much fat. But to be fair, that doesn't even come from lifting weights. That just comes from like poor eating habits. So like you don't even have to lift weights to even worry about that. But besides that and taking steroids, you are not going to get big. It's just not going to happen. Like don't be scared of it. Like I don't know what you think. You're not going to become Ronnie Coleman just by going to the gym once. Okay? It's 2025. Like we have to drop this belief of getting too big. It's a myth. It's been a myth and will always be a myth. Okay, like I literally explained to you about myostatin. Dr. Mike Israel, the guy with a PhD, explained it. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. Like just lift weights, man. It's fun. There's so many benefits to it, and you're not gonna get too big. You'll get lean. In fact, you might get like maybe smaller depending on how you go about it. Actually, depends. If you bulk up, you'll get bigger, but if you do it at like controlled bulk, like not eating too much, just only eating like slightly above your maintenance, you'll put on some good muscle size. And no, when you put on muscle, you don't all of a sudden get like too tight or like slow. Okay, that's not how it works. You don't. It's really neutral, honestly. And the only way that can happen is if you only lift weights for like a long time and you just don't do any stretching or any mobility work. And that way you can get like really tight and super stiff and you get pain everywhere. Oh, and when it comes to like being slow, because I know fighters say that like bodybuilders are kind of like slow or like tight. Muscle doesn't really make you faster or slower. It's like neutral. If you bulk up too much, you will get slower. But if you cut, you get faster. But from my experience, I found that, muscle mass can if done right, make you faster. But even then, it's mostly neutral. But with that said, I think I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on this video. And let me know what other videos I should do next. Because if you saw my previous video, I have no video ideas. I have nothing. And, it would be nice if I could, get a video idea from you guys, since you can decide what videos I should make. That way, it's a win with both of us. I get a video idea and you get a video you like. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna head out. Or just get out.